One of the things I used to do management and executive retreats with spouses, and I would do an exercise and I'd write the word marriage across the top of a flip chart. Envision that I'm doing that, and I would say, give me some adjectives to describe what defines a healthy marriage or relationship. Anybody, just throw out what kind of things would define a healthy relationship? Trust. Humor. Good sex? Oh, respect. Oh. Well, that probably does too. Keep going. Honesty. Now you can imagine if we went on with this on a flip chart, the words that we would have under the word marriage. Then what I would do is I would change the word marriage to manage. And all the same words apply, except for the great sex. Now, if you think about it, the characteristics of an effective relationship are the same whether it's marriage or management. Management is just, well, in fact, some cases, exactly like marriage, just without the sex, too. But my whole point is, think about that as we go through. This is what I mean by get weird. When I wrote get weird, I'm trying to get people in your situations to think and act differently. That's how we become competitive. And I want you to think about your general managers, your team members in your hotels. Are they an investment or are they an expense? You must invest in a relationship. Think about the relationship part in your personal life. And what works in your personal relationships works in your business relationships just as well. You are investors. You make a lot of good investments. You've invested in some significant things in terms of buildings and property and equipment and systems. When you make an investment, what do? You do your due diligence. You do your research, comparative analyses. You ask for expert advice. You cut your losses. You reinvest in the winners. Do you see where I'm going? If you took that same mentality toward your human resource investment, I think you would behave differently than you do today. That's what I mean by get weird. It's a good thing to get weird, to think differently and act differently. You've all been on a job for the first time. Think about your first day, your first week on any new job. It's just like going back to school in the fall for the first time. You're a clean slate. You're going to start fresh. You've got an open mind. Those are all positive things when we hire someone. If you do not have an orientation program, reception program by design, you have one by default. And it's your worst employee or team member who is doing it for you. They are learning the values of your organization one way or another. It should be your way. How many people do you think really read and retain the information in your employee handbook in the first week? The only time employees pull out the handbook is when they're in trouble or they want something. Now, if you hand in this handbook, let me just read you a couple of pages in this. Our philosophy. People come first. Our word is our bond. We're serious about service. We cannot afford the luxury of a lousy day's business. Very, very simple to the point. Simple and to the point. Cash flow. You'll love cash flow. It's one line. Cash flow. More should come in each month than goes out. That's all you need to know. My favorite page in here are 2 pages, job descriptions and organization charts. It's a blank page. What does that say by saying nothing? To a new employee, when you hand them an employee handbook that has job descriptions and organization charts and it's blank, it says we can take light of ourselves. You do what has to be done. Now, yes, they do have job descriptions. They do have organizational charts. The point is, we're trying to instill values in that new employee in the first day, the first week. These are powerful kinds of activities. In Get Weird, it's called Lose the Legalese. We have gotten so afraid of everything that everything has to be so legalized. You can still have your legal handbook. This is for orientation, for instilling values. Just an example. Just an example. It takes no longer to pat somebody on the back than it does to kick them in the butt. And it's a lot more pleasurable for both. Well, I don't have the kind of money to throw around at people. It's not the money. We've already figured that out. I don't want to be seen as playing favorites. Well, then you shouldn't be a manager. If you don't know how to play favorites, then we don't need you. Discrimination is a good thing. The word discrimination has gotten a bad rap in recent years. If somebody doesn't get treated exactly like someone else, it's discrimination. No, it's management. If you treat everyone the same, you punish the winners and reward the losers. Got to get weird. If you lose one person, I don't care if it's in a Hampton Inn or a Homewood Suites or a Hilton Garden Inn, you lose one person, in some cases you've lost half your department. What if you walked in one morning and had half your beds were gone? Half your phones were gone. Half your parking spaces were gone. Your other investments. That'd be alarming, wouldn't it? But we let every one of our human resource investments walk out the door every single day and hope they come back. This is the biggest investment you'll make. And the reverse is obviously true. High employee satisfaction, low turnover, high customer satisfaction, etc. Of these variables, which one do you and your general managers have the most direct control over? Employee satisfaction. It'd be nice if you could just raise your room rates and had higher profit. It doesn't work that way. It'd be nice if you could just tell your customers to be happy. It's not that easy. You have direct control over your employee satisfaction, and it's not the money. That is the most important message you're going to hear today. It's not the money, it's your mindset. It's your attitude, it's a habit.